Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Siriana Tarot. This is going to be a reading for my dearest fellow Virgos. This is going to be your new moon in Virgo reading. You can have Virgo in any placement, sun, moon, rising, Jupiter, Venus, you name it. So this is a time of new beginnings, and we're really being supported to organize, to get work done, especially, take on projects that require a lot of attention to detail. So it's also going to be a really great time for you guys to make lists and make your way through them and then celebrate each time you check off a box. We're really going to be focused on improving our health and our routines and our tasks. And we're also going to be finding practical solutions in love, any relationship issues we might be experiencing in our jobs, in our healthcare regimen, our self-care programs, and habits. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into this. We're going to invite spirit, angels, ancestors, loved ones who have passed, spirit guides, and ascended masters to this space to deliver the messages that we need to hear for Virgo, for this new moon in Virgo reading. My fellow Virgos, I've got my rising in Virgo. Okay, so where you are right now, Hierophant in reverse. What's blocking you? Seven of Wands. What intentions you need to set. Look at that. 7-7. This is a very spiritual time for you, Virgos. Seven of Swords. All right, what do you need to know? The Empress in reverse. And what positive energy will emerge? We get the King of Wands in reverse. Okay, so first off the bat, Virgos, some of you guys are going through a breakup or a divorce or a separation. And that's coming through really clear here with the Hierophant card. For some of you guys, you may believe this was a spiritual union, okay? Or you may be realizing that you're in a karmic situation and you're moving towards a more spiritual union, okay? That doesn't necessarily mean that that's a third party situation, but you're understanding that the lessons that you've learned with the contract that you've been in. Now, it doesn't have to be a marriage. It could have to do with your job. Okay, but the Hierophant in reverse really talks about you guys moving away from a pack or a person or some sort of contract. And you're realizing that you can no longer support this. It's not giving you what you need. It doesn't resonate with you. It's not aligned with who you truly are. The overall energy here, we have the Eight of Pentacles, taking us back to the Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So this is about you. You've put in the time. I think you tried to make this situation work. You tried to fit yourself into this situation, and you're realizing it's just so uncomfortable. And many of you are sort of waking up to the idea of, you know what, I can't believe I've been doing this so long, or I've given it my all. Virgo, this is your permission to do what's best for you. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse, it could talk about a family situation. It could have to do with your job. It could have to do with how you approach money. Some of you may have been in a lack mentality, focusing on what you don't have, and you're hitting that sweet spot of realizing, okay, when I focus on, when I can visualize what I want, and I can really attract that as well by raising my vibration. But for many of you, this could be a situation where you have children, okay? It could be a situation that your family, your friends approve of, and that may be why you sort of stayed in this. The Hierophant energy is Taurus. You might have that in your chart. But again, some of you guys, if you haven't already, if you're not going through a physical separation, there's definitely that emotional assistance, right? Assistance, because you are receiving assistance from your angel guides and your spirits, and your angels and your spirit guides here is what they want to tell you. Okay, so you're going through this separation. Some of you guys are realizing that what you're doing, again, in love and work, in your health regimen, in your approach to abundance, and whatever else, just isn't aligned with who you truly are. It's aligned with conventional beliefs or, again, expectations of your friends and your family. Now, what's blocking you from growing? We have the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands in reverse takes me back to the Six of Wands, which is recognition and which is reward. Really worrying too much about how others see you. Really worrying about how others see this situation. Really worrying too much about, we all have this need for approval, and we all have this need for, being told that we've done a good job. Okay, and it's not necessarily from everyone, but I really pick up here, Virgo, you're worried about how other people are going to receive this separation. Okay, and I feel like you're exhausted. I feel like that's getting in your way. You've been doing too much. I think you've been bending over backwards for too many people, maybe even in this particular relationship, like always putting your needs back in the, on the back burner. And again, what people will think of you, putting that in front of what's really truly aligned and what will really truly make you happy. All right, this person is covering up their heart chakra, so this is heart healing. This is the need for you to really be open to receiving and open and finding that courage to do what's best for Virgo. All right, the intentions you need to set in order to grow. This kind of makes me laugh, and it shouldn't. Excuse me, but what I'm seeing here, look at this. I see this person in red shoes. Somebody who does their own thing. Somebody who stands out. You are so unique, and I feel like you've been dimming your light, or you've been hiding who you truly are and what you truly want for a long time. And I'm not going to give you a traditional reading of the Seven of Swords, okay, which is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy, which is somebody taking from you time, energy, love, money, somebody lying to you, or anything like that. If anybody's been lying, Virgo, this is going to be a tough message. It's you to yourself. But Spirit's saying, pack your SHIT and get out. You've learned all you can learn from this situation. Now take what's yours. Take what you've learned, take your experience, and do you, Virgo. Put yourself first. It's okay to walk away, because this person, in this card, I see him very happily like, you know what, I've got my stuff. This was a great time. This was a great time in my life. I learned so much, but it's time for me to go. And take what's yours, Virgo. Take what's yours. Doesn't mean you have to do this over far-reaching self-sacrifice. Take what's yours. Within, you know what I mean? Like within reason. What you need to know, we have the Empress in reverse. This is the divine feminine. This is maternal energy, not aligning with your true happiness, your true needs, and your true desires, and putting others above you, Virgo, or ahead of you, is the reason you're not happy, is the reason you're not getting what you want. Some of you might be, saying, well, this job sucks, or, this relationship isn't for me, or blah, 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 blah. But basically everything seems to have this sort of negative tint to it because you're not aligned. You're not honoring you. You're not honoring your needs and your wants and what truly makes you happy. And that makes it really hard to achieve. And once you listen to what your soul is calling you to do in love, relationships, work, and your health, once you listen to the signs and the synchronicities, once you open yourself up to receiving, Virgo, instead of overgiving, everything changes. The King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sag energy. Some of you might be dealing with Aries, Leo, Sag people. And I do see that this is the reaction. The King of Wands in reverse, is somebody who's very passionate, somebody who gets angry, somebody who fights, somebody who's trying to hold on. In Virgo, this could be your job. This could be your partner. This could be, the situations that you find yourself in. But the King of Wands in reverse is somebody who doesn't want to be where he is. And the reason the King of Wands is in this position is because of the choices that he himself has made, taken on too many responsibilities, said yes one too many times, and hasn't honored his or her own truth. And Virgo, that's the story here. It's time to honor your truth, and that's going to look very different for many of us, okay? Remember, this is as much a reading for me as it is for you, and if I'm being stern with you, it's because you need to hear it. This is your time, Virgo. This new moon is your time to set yourself right, on the right path. All right, we get Spirit of Place, number 4. Some of you guys might be attached to a particular place, a home, a city, a state, a job, a location. Okay, and I'm picking up here with the 7 of Swords. It's time to move. Bone Collector, beautiful. This is the energy of the Magician, okay? You create your reality. They want you to make a very big change. You've learned what you needed to learn, Virgo, from this situation, from this job, from this partnership. Deep freeze, yep. And you've been in a state of stasis. You've been in a deep freeze. Some of you guys haven't been getting the passion, the inspiration, the warmth, the desire. You haven't been feeling the feelings, Virgo, because you've been keeping yourself small. You've been dimming your light for the sake of others. Okay, and you get stuck in the mud. It's all about getting unstuck. All about getting unstuck, Virgo. You get Owl. Follow your intuition. Align with your higher self, Virgo. Your intuition is telling you where you need to go, what feels good, what doesn't feel good. And Virgos, we have this tendency for this over-analysis to get more in our head than trusting our own intuition, okay? And Spirit's saying it's time for that to stop. There's no coincidence you had 2 7s jump out of the gate immediately. 77 is in path of the mystic, of the yogi. You need to trust your intuition. All right, you get Illusion. Embrace the truth, because Virgos, many of us have been living a lie, making excuses for why we stay in this deep freeze, stuck in the mud. It's time to break illusions. We have Neptune in retrograde. Right now we're being supported to really decide, take a look at what works, what doesn't work. And with this Virgo laser focus that we're being gifted with and we're supported with at this time, you are going to find your way through the woods. This is your time to map out what you want and how you're going to get there, and be open to little changes and shifts along the way. Be open to help, be open to receiving. Because I feel like my Virgos out there, you guys are so used to giving and over giving that it's left you drained. And some of you may not even know which way you want, but your higher self knows it wants out of a current situation. Okay, and that situation does not have to be a marriage or a relationship or a job. It could just be a way of thinking, a way of communicating with yourself. Now is the time for transformation. Okay. Final message for my Virgos, please. And we get Honesty, 40. Wow. Honesty. So I'm reading, this is the Fairy Oracle by Brian Freud. Let's go ahead and take a look at honesty. Honesty in a reading speaks unsurprisingly of the need for straight dealing and truth and representation. And with the 7 of Swords coming out, you know, there's something here, Virgo, that you have not been honest with others about your needs, your wants, or how this situation is affecting you, but most of all with yourself. We need to be scrupulously honest here, making certain that there is no room for confusion or misunderstanding, no fuzzy edges. Both written and verbal agreements need to be completely clear. Assumptions may not be as well understood by all parties as we are assuming, and they need to be tested for comprehension. On a personal level, honesty reminds us not only to be clear in what we say and do, but also to act and speak with compassion and tact. Brutal honesty is not usually true honesty at all, but somehow slanted toward the worst. Dishonesty, even in the name of tact, is not helpful either. Balancing on that fine line of loving honesty may take some effort, but will provide rich rewards. Honest humility, idealism, and clarity of mind are some of the advantages. Just look at him. Could you doubt for a moment that he sees you just as you are and loves you anyway? In plant form, which is how we may see him often, honesty makes lovely purple flowers in the spring and later on produces those silvery white circular seed pods like small images of the full moon. These little earth moon seed pods remind us to reflect upon our reactions and feelings, to throw light into our darknesses, and to deal honestly with ourselves and others. Honesty's other botanical names are moonwort, satin flower, silver dollar, moneywort, dollar plant, penny flower, bulbanac, and on Monday, the moon's day, he is Lunaria annua. Honesty is said to repel monsters. I don't have any monsters handy to check this out, but I can certainly see the metaphorical truth in it. He is also known as the unshoe the horse, because of his habit of unshoeing horses who tread upon him, a very fairy thing to do. Virgo, it's time to unshoe the horses that tread upon you. And many of those horses are the horses of our own making. All right. I love you guys. I know this was a tough message. Maybe not all of you will enjoy hearing it, but it is the message that needed to come out. I love you guys. Thank you for listening. I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day. Take care.